Welcome to Digital Asset News. Take the top stories in crypto and bring it on bite-sized pieces. Now, just like the thumbnail suggests, the feeling of the 2017 parabolic bull run is upon us, and I'm going to talk about how close we could potentially be. Before that, I want to talk about a couple pieces of news. First up, FTX mergers with Ledger X and why this is such a big deal. Voyager mergers and acquisition as well as their Voyager loyalty program. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of it as we talk about the 4-year cycle recap and elongated cycles, finally finishing up with the 2017 parabolic recap and what is going on as far as what's happening today. So today we are on September 1st, 2021, and the market has taken off just a little bit. So using the trade the chain sentiment analysis, we're taking a look at total market cap of $2.17 trillion. Looks pretty good. Average daily sentiment is around 43 over 100. And Bitcoin daily sentiment suddenly turns a little bit bullish as everything starts to go up. Now, me personally, I'm not super bullish on Bitcoin right now. I think it's going to go up and it's going to do very well. But really, where a lot of the gains or my gains have been made recently has been altcoins. So if we take a look at what is going on as far as into the coins of the top 100 or so, Bitcoin still doing pretty good, 48,215. But look at Ethereum, $3,700. It almost looks like it's decoupling just a little bit from Bitcoin, but we know that'll snap right back as it usually does. But in 24 hours, it's up 8%, 7 days, 15%. Cardano still holding the third spot, looking at 284, a moderate 2%, Binance Coin 3%, and so on and so forth. But we get down here into around the 27th spot, we'll take a look at the FTX token. And we're going to get into that in just a bit. But before I do, I just want to make mention that, of course, everything that we do for the Digital Asset News or D-News stake pool, we contribute 100 Cardano per week to Kiva. And Kiva is very great because it helps, it's these microloans to help people who are unbanked and in difficult situations throughout the world. And unfortunately, whatever you want to say it, the 100 Cardano per week used to not equal too much. And now, fortunately, it equals quite a lot. And we're at around 285. So 285, and we're going to do this for the actual month. So 400 times 285, we're looking at around $1,100 or something like that. So what we did is we just picked these people that needed loans throughout the world, and we gave up this much into contributing to their plights and their things that they needed to do. So if you're looking for a place to stake your Cardano, which also does a little bit of microloans and tries to help out, there's a link in the description. It looks something like this. When you click on that, it'll take you to the Cardano staking pool video for D-News. Anyhow, what we're taking a look at today is FTX in the news. And real quickly, this was a nice little piece that we had gone over actually quickly yesterday, but I want to bring it up again because I think it's a pretty big deal. Because if we take a look at the actual price action for FTX, or what's going on, or as a FTT token, we're looking at a price appreciation of 29% in a 24-hour time frame, 29%. And what is going on here, thankfully for FTX, as they break into it, is they acquired crypto derivatives platform Ledger X. And this is a commodity futures trading commission regulated futures and options exchange and clearinghouse, Ledger X. And the two entities are combined now as they make this huge acquisition. The crypto exchange can meet the needs of retail and institutional traders alike. FTX aims to build a strong relationship with U.S. regulators, which we've heard before. People want to work with regulators unless you're Binance, whatever. And emphasize that it would work specifically with the CFTC. And this last sentence kind of struck me. I'm like, why do they want to work with the CFTC, not the SEC? And I can tell you why. It's because the commissioner of the SEC, or the CFTC, Brian Quintenas, said this: just so we're all clear here, the SEC has no authority over pure commodities or their trading venues, whether those commodities are wheat, gold, oil, or crypto assets. And that right there pretty much spells it out, because what he's saying is like, look, This is what we believe crypto to be. We believe it to be an asset, a commodity. We don't believe it is a security. So why wouldn't FTX want to work with the CFTC as opposed to Gensler and the SEC? They're like, no, everything's a security, and that's just what we're going to do. Crazy. And then to finish all this up, CEO of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, said this is probably one of the most exciting announcements we've ever had. So this is just one of those reasons why you can see that the FTX token is going up. And I think this is why a lot of things are going to go up as far as like utility and the tokens that are related to the exchanges. Look what happened to Binance Chain and everything else. And that leads me to my next quick little point, Voyager. So Voyager, if you don't know, they just had a token swap, and it was around 900 million. But on top of that, they also acquired a little known exchange in France, which is called LGO. And they actually did a 900 million token swap, VGX and LGO, for a French foreign cryptocurrency exchange back in December of 2020. And why did they do that? Well, they're a pretty smart company, and they know that what they want is not just the exchange's people that are in there, but in terms of traditional finance services, when a company wants to enter a new market under a different regulatory regime, it must either apply for a de novo license or acquire a company that has already attained one. The same choice that played out, what we just talked about, FTX US and so on and so forth. So again, with this happening, I believe that Voyager will do quite well. Their loyalty program just went live today. So if you're looking for a place to, if you're going to purchase the VGX token, you also get a rewards boost of between 0.5 and 1.5%. Crypto back rewards across the continuum. Refer friends are pretty high. Withdrawal discounts, crypto back and debit card, and all the different things that are out there. And that's why I think Voyager, the VGX token itself, is going to do pretty well. I made this in my price prediction video all the way back in January, where I thought it was going to $30, and I believe it's up 9% in a 24-hour time frame, but it's only at around $4 right now. So we will see. And that is what's going on in the news as far as the basics of what is happening. Now let's get to the main thing of what I was talking about in the actual thumbnail, which is the 2017 parabolic run. It kind of feels like things are going our way in a quick fashion. And what I wanted to show you real quick is just as a recap, the 4-year cycles. And whether you believe in them or not, or if you believe that we're going to have an extended run as far as these cycles go, sure. But I do feel like we were in the same place we were in 2017 around September. Let me show you something. So as far as like the 4-year cycles, this is back in 2012, and everything always follows with the Bitcoin halving. Now, this could be disrupted later. I'm not here to debate that part of it, but this is what we have as far as history. So we had a halving in 2012, which led to half of Bitcoin being mined in those 10-minute blocks. And then, of course, we went from $5 to $14, all the way up to $1,100. Then we had a dip and a reset. Same thing happened in 2016. There was a Bitcoin halving, led to an all-time high. Then, of course, went through crypto winter, dip, and a reset. And now, I and a lot of people believe that we're doing the same type of thing. But maybe it will be extended out. Who knows? In 2020, we had the halving. We hit 29,000. 2021, who knows where it's going to be, but I know we've already hit an all-time high of around 64,000, but where could it eventually go? Nobody knows. But then we could potentially see a dip and a reset sometime in 2022 or 2023. It all depends. And remember, if this does keep happening, you don't have to get filthy, disgusting rich right now. Just remember that there may be another cycle coming through. And that is what people believe to be true. Now, if we take a look at that, about what is going on as far as like the 4-year cycles, let's take a look and really zoom in to get a little bit better understanding. When in doubt, zoom out, but we want to have a little bit more granular information, you got to zoom in. So I took a look at CoinMarketCap. It's okay. CoinMarketCap's got some good data, but what they have is historical snapshots. And when I took a look at between 16 July 2017 all the way to December, and I want you just to notice something. In July, 16th July, this is what it must have felt like to go through this parabolic bull run. I went through the bull run, but at the very end of November and December. And it really was like I was cheating. I kind of caught it at the very end. I didn't really know what was going on. But if you were in 2017 and you had been investing in 2016 and 2015 and 2014 when all the smart money was accumulating, this must have felt like the biggest relief that you actually proved to everybody that you knew was going to happen. And here's where we're at. So if you just take a look here in 16 July 2017, look at the Bitcoin price, 31,748,976,660 and some change. And that was the market cap. The price was $1,900. Ethereum, $157. XRP, watch out, 14 cents. Litecoin was number 4 at $40. Ethereum Classic at $14. Dash, NEM, IOTA was back in those days. And it was just, it was a pretty good time. Now, remember, if you've been dollar cost averaging for 3-4 years from 2014 all the way to now, how great would you have felt right at this moment? You'd be like, man, this is really paying off. But that's pales in comparison to what comes next. This is 16 July. Let's take a look at 13th of August. Look at this. You went from essentially around $2,000 for a Bitcoin to around $4,000 for a Bitcoin. Ethereum, you went from 125, 150, and you pretty much doubled in a very short amount of time. Again, you must have been feeling like a genius because you're like, wow, I did all this work. You know, I bought the dip. I listened to the people that I should have listened to. And even though they say it's not investment advice, it was investment opinion, seems to work out pretty well. Now check this out. 13th of August, right? And that's kind of like where we just were. Now, 3rd of September, today is the 1st of September. Imagine this. Now it goes up to $4,500. Ethereum, $347. So not the big, huge gains like doubles and doubles and doubles. Kind of, you know, stayed the same a little bit. Not too bad, not too great, not too awful. Everything's going good. Bitcoin Cash comes up 607, XRP 22 cents. Watch out, Litecoin $76, and so on and so forth. So again, you're probably still feeling pretty good about what's happening. And then we fast forward, 8th of October. Look at this, Bitcoin around the same. So not too much really happened. 4,500, 347 for Bitcoin, Ethereum, 4,600, 308 for Ethereum. So now you're like, well, that's kind of a bummer, but you know, I'm still up pretty good. I still feel pretty great. I'm probably just going to hold on because I've been dollar cost averaging for 3, 4, 5, 7 years or whatever else it is. And I still feel pretty good. And I know where things are going because I've done my own research. Now check this out, 8th of October, and you just wait just a little bit and go to 15th October, you're at $5,600, almost $5,700 for Bitcoin, Ethereum, 336. So you are up, wow, $1,000. And that's on 15th October. That's 1 week. Then after that, you go a month in advance. Now you're at $8,000. So imagine you were dollar cost averaging Bitcoin at nothing, and all of a sudden it's doubling, tripling, quadrupling. That's 19 November. And then you go to 10th of December, now you're at $15,000. Imagine going from like $400, $300 of Bitcoin, now all the way up to this. Ethereum, 441. Bitcoin Cash, 1323. IOTA, crazy, right? 413. And now we go all the way to 17th of December, $19,000 for Bitcoin. Ethereum, 719. And it went up even more after that. Bitcoin Cash, 1862. And XRP, 72 cents. It went even more, like $1, something like that. So all these things that are happening in a very short amount of time after those 4-year cycles went through, this is where all the money is made. In these little finite amount of time, there's not a ton of things that you have to do, but there are these things you just have to just sit back and be like, you know what? I've done my research. I've done all my dollar cost averaging. I think this is where we're at. And I feel like this is the same thing again, just repeating itself right now. Do I think everything's going to go up like a big hockey stick from here? No, it didn't back then. Like just as we saw it in September, or October, September to October, there was a little bit of a lull time, but it was like this, wham, this, and then all the way up. Can it happen again? Sure, why not? And I can tell you right now, back in those days when I got in November, I was like, there's no way it can double because that doesn't usually happen, especially not in the traditional market. And of course, how wrong we were. The only thing that limits us right now is the amount that we can actually see of where everything to go. Now remember, there is a quadrillion dollars just sloshing around. I mean, everything from real estate to derivatives, all the way to the stock market and everything in between, gold being one of them, $12 trillion, come on. And you don't think that we can't, I don't know, go 1.5x from here, maybe 2x, who knows? That's the great thing. But I will caution you on one last tale, and that is this. When we go up magnificently like this in this parabolic bull run, whether that be a go parabolic or there's an extended range for what people think that could be, maybe in March or April of next year we see these ranges, it doesn't matter. What always happens, most of the time, is that you're going to see something like this. And this is called the life cycle of financial bubbles. I will link this in the description below. And if you overlay this, which is just exactly what the thumbnail actually represented, takeoff, bear trap, media attention, enthusiasm, green delusion, new paradigm is never going down, goes down to denial, return to normal, fear, capitulation, despair. The same thing also happened if you overlay it with the stock bubble of 1929, if you overlay that with the 2000 dot-com bubble, and also the Bitcoin 2017. So could this happen again? I can't tell you what's going to happen. I can just tell you where we've been and where I think we're going to go. But the big thing is this, just be cautious. And just because things are going up right now does not mean that they will go up forever. But it is an exciting time, and that's why I'm so excited about being in this space. So look, that is it for today. Hopefully, thanks. Well, first of all, if you got me all this way, thanks for sticking with me all the way end. I appreciate it. If you liked that video, give it a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing. A lot of things we talk about are time sensitive, especially right now, what is going on. And that is it. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next one.